interested in killing people and killing people. President Joshua, when he became president, he opened a church.
In more recent time, and just over the weekend, Ambassador Joseph Boakai made a statement that people shouldn't take man's job and give it to boys. He's a boy taking over a man's task in the presidency. What do you make of that?
Two things I want to say. That statement doesn't go well with me. If Mr. Weir is a boy, then I think he's a good boy. Because Joseph Boakai, former Vice President Boakai, dropped in his heart, he collapsed. Almost died. It is that boy, because George Weir, who went there, pick him up, charter a plane to fly him abroad for open heart surgery and made him to live today with pacemaker battery. He's a battery total right now. So the battery is controlled by the white man who gave it in a medical center where he was flown to. So maybe he's not well to speak the way he's speaking. He's not well. He's using battery. It's not normal. A man who is using battery and a man who has a natural heart, compare the two. So Joseph Boakai, the former vice president, he's using battery. He's a battery total. Such a man cannot even be president of this country. He said, so maybe that the frustration making to speak the way he did, calling the president boy. So Joseph Boakai, the former vice president, he's using battery. He's a battery total. Such a man cannot even be president of this country. He said, so maybe that the frustration making to speak the way he did, calling the president boy. So Joseph Boakai, the former vice president, he's using battery. He's a battery total. Such a man cannot even be president of this country. He said, so maybe that the frustration making to speak the way he did, calling the president boy. How many million people voted that boy? So many millions. Look at this boy and elected him. Maybe you call Joseph, George Weir boy because of the age, because Joseph Boakai is over 70 and this boy is about 50 something. So when you say boy, what that's it. But boy in the sense of immaturity, no. George Weir is mature. He's mature. That's why he told Joseph Boakai on the ground where he collapsed to fly him abroad for medical checkup, for medical heart surgery. That's what made him to live today. I think Joseph Boakai, in conclusion, should be very grateful to that boy who flew him out of the country for open heart surgery and making to live today. But the way Joseph Boakai speaks, the way he acts, he is one of the 9 ungrateful lepers. The fact is, you could have ignored you, but he did not. He did not. He saved this old man. But what the old man is returning is ungratefulness. Call this president boy. You call the whole Liberian president boy, then you old man, you told him battery around here.
You're
But I
taking
cannot
away.
look at a battery man and he let you. Because any minute you could collapse. But you always say you want to be president, and you know your record. You're on the time bomb, on the borderline.
Just sitting and laughing at reading the comment section. John Balu said the reason why he's saying this is to save the state. Save Liberia. But Senator Balu was senator when in his county, 5 wonderful Liberians gruesomely murdered. Their bodies were mutilated. He didn't say anything. A colleague who was then a senator, whose name is enshrined in the TRC report, whose testimony you can find everywhere, that allegedly carried out a massacre on the Kavala River, became a senator from in jail. He came from jail. That case died in Maryland. Senator Balu was senator. Senator Balu was senator when Keith Dubois was killed. Senator Balu was senator when the Fuller man was beheaded in River G. Senator Balu was senator and the 17 young men were killed between Lower Majidi and Grand Bassa County. Senator Balu was senator when one of the people who funding all of his effort was giving Intergeneral Hosmer money and squash car to lobby for him to move on traveling then and access free. But today, he said he wants to save the country. Senator Balu was senator when Bridgeway from London came to do prospect in Liberia. Senator Balu then got vehicle and money.
Balu la Brian, senator.
He thought on saving Liberia then. You know, sometimes some people sit on a particular platform, and this is the reason why the argument is going to get big this few times. Because, look, there's some...
I don't think I can do this. It's against my faith. I don't want to do it.
Agostina,
Yeah.
you can't put me in any situation that I can handle. Don't do it to me. You can't put me in any situation that I can handle. Don't do it to me. You can't put me in any situation that I can handle. Don't do it to me. If you talk to somebody and they tell you, say, oh, because I'm Moali, don't do it. Don't put me in any situation I can handle.
I don't
Yeah.
talk to anybody, boy.
You know, okay, you ain't got to do it. What you do for me? Let her go to the lady tomorrow morning. We'll see her. That's all. You ain't got to do anything. Yeah?
Yeah, for what now?
Agostina, don't put me in any situation I can handle. Well, yeah.
At the station.
All right. I'll come in for you after that. So we can go see her, yeah?
So do what now?
Not doing anything. We'll just go and see her. You
I
get-
don't play, but I can't I can do it. I can afford it.
Agostina, then it will not be for me.
It's not a job budget. And somebody come and stand in front of me and say, Representative Grace Levy in the public. It's a disservice for you. And you must hold their feet to the fire because some of you voted for these thieves. Okay? The House Donor is a thief. It's a thief. I'm telling you, it's a thief. Anybody who lie on what you told. He had checks here. We published those checks before. He denied his signature on those checks. Before 2020 campaign. He's a common criminal. I'm saying that to you. He's a common criminal. That's the budget he voted for. He's a criminal because he lied at $3.6 billion is not in the budget. He can't take me anywhere. I defy him. That's a criminal. No, I'm not angry. I'm being forceful. I'm being intellectual. I'm providing facts. No, I said something I didn't mention him, so they don't know I'm a medicine. He has no integrity in life or integrity. He's in the crisis of integrity. He's drowning in the crisis of integrity. He's not only fake. He's drowning in the crisis of integrity. I say he's a criminal. He's a thief. To take a $45,000 car in the budget to vote for it, not just to vote for it. And you didn't inform the people because say everything you inform the people is on record for that. And he didn't say anything about it. Okay, the pastor didn't vote. Well, why he didn't say it? Why he didn't say he voted for it? The records are there, Lord. Gentlemen, Senator Delon should be treated as a common criminal for lying to the public that there's no $3.6 million in the budget. Okay, and they said they didn't want it. Why they play? There's $3.6 million. The money here. The thing is in the budget. There's the final budget. So like they don't tell you when they took it all, they said when they put it. I bet you one question is when they took it out, can you show us where you put your share? That's the question. If they answer that question, come back to me.
We now go over to Robert Tier of the Unity Party.
Yeah, everything I do, we must first tell the thing to the people.
That's what I'm saying.
We've been doing that with people cleaning the champagne in our various communities. So, in social science, said, we go to people and ask them what they name. And so you posting them to say, I name this. But if you don't ask your people, what do you carry to them? So before I ask them what they name and what they name, we take them to them.
Your three major priorities.
Right now, if you look at I'm a teacher in profession.
You teacher?
Yeah, I'm a teacher. Okay. The second thing is that we want the boroughs autonomous.
The boroughs what?
It's autonomous. It's autonomous. Yeah, it's autonomous.
Go ahead.
And we look at some of the things we have to consider because we talk about autonomous, that means you have a lot of facility, a lot of things that you do in the borough. And if you are autonomous and you have other things to do, and if you look at the good time, many young people graduated from college in the district. Right now, the first thing we embarked was to have a reconciliation regional meeting out of the communities.
So Tia, at what level were you teaching? Was it elementary, junior high, or senior high?
We're teaching elementary divisions.
Okay.
Elementary division. And we're credible, we are more accessible, and we're development oriented. So
Hello, Robert B. Tier is the librarian. After our graduation from the elementary school, we keep the Murray Road to attend the junior high school, the Pasadena Junior High School, and from there we went to Central High and we graduated 1998. I'm a teacher in profession. Robert Tier is one of the daughter's son. Robert Tier is one of the credible sons. Robert Tier is deserved to be a servant in the district. Robert Tier is a public servant. I always work at the National Security Agency in Kematan, in Kematan.
These things could happen behind the scenes. So I supported Joseph Walker, knowing that by 2023 he'll be tired. Okay. Knowing that 2023 he'll be tired, he could have a good heart, everything good, but the brain is going down. You're not holding the end, you're moving down the hill. This is nature. My father, right now, I buy him paper. Every day I gotta buy a paper. There's a man who bought me paper before. I'm buying paper now because the time has reached. So I thought the old man could be president in 2017 and run for this. And he sincerely said, when you win, you run for one term. He sincerely, I agree with him. 2023, no, I disagree. In my mind, he should rest, find somebody else.
Distinguished colleagues, this is a two-faced issue. This is a critical issue in this country.
Big deal. But since it has not made sense yet, we try to demonstrate our word into action by maintaining that we will take only $5,000 of our monthly money. Just as we are about to return to Monserrato what we have received from government, we would like to make it in a re-emphasized way that when we said what we said, we were clear on the record that we would take only 5,000 from Monterey County. When we made the argument, it was a fact that senators were taking $15,325 in gross, and after tax deduction, they will come at 4,000. I insisted I would take 5,000 out of that 15,000 and return the rest to Monterey County. And we insisted that whatever the money will be here, more than 5,000 will return the rest to Monterey. So if we make it 15,000, we'll take 5,000 and give Monterey 10. If they increase our money here, or we increase our money here to 100,000, Darius Dillon will take 5,000 and give Monterey 95,000. If we make it 5,100, Darius Dillon will take 5,000 and give Monterey 100. If we make it under 5,000, then Monterey gets nothing, because the baseline has always been.
We want you to pre-word, yeah, if you protect the rapper.
Go ahead.
Distinguished colleagues, this is a two-faced issue.
This is a critical issue in this country, and we must stand up and speak the truth. Because for you to use the fact that prior to printing, it means you already tell me print, but before you print, come up to me. There is nothing in that paragraph that indicated that money should be printed.
The essence of this exercise, the essence of this exercise is to know the facts. Everybody will have the opportunity to ask questions if you so desire.
No matter what life throws at you, try as much as possible not to live in deception. You know, one difficult thing about living a fake life is that it is just for a time or season. You will try to do so, and when people get to understand the real you, your credibility and everything that you fought for over the years goes into nothing. That's why you always have to try your best. Despite the condition or situation, it is always good that you try your best to live in reality. Live with real things, no matter how difficult it is. If you can have a cup of rice to eat a day, never present yourself to the public that you are the richest, because doing so could be putting you in more harm than good. Good afternoon, folks. It's 17 minutes past 4 o'clock, and it's here on a Monday. And the program is the Freedom Hub, the Monday's edition here. And the name is Hagar Ganda. I'm seated right here as usual on this Monday. Oh, yes. A call to national duty, whatever it takes, we have to defy what it is to ensure that we are here. Because that we are here always, some of you, when it's hitting 4 o'clock, you get running to your radio and start to burn your phone battery just so you follow us here to get information through this medium. That's why we always not want to disappoint you. And we'll always make it our duty to be here. In the country where our electricity is becoming scarce, electricity is becoming harmonized. We have to be careful on how we do things. You know, the last time, or it was on Friday when we had Ben Believe Topa and the Secretary General of the CDC COP. There were some technical hitches. I don't know whether at times we are doing our programs here, somebody will just call and say, pull the entire chemistry off. I don't know whether that's the case, but I try today and see. So I will have with me here Ben Believe Topa, the chairman of the CDC COP, and of course, here's our Secretary General. They are already here, and trust me, not much of talking we will do here today. We want to usher them in so that together we can pinpoint some of those issues, national concern, whatever it is, so that we put the government feet to the fire to ensure that the right things are done. I don't know whether this thing has been done intentional, but electricity before, let me put the theme song down. Before, it was just during the drought season that we used to experience the issue of power outage, and you see LEC doing, I know how you call that one, rotational current distribution. But unlike so, this rainy season is very terrible. It is very terrible, and I don't know how many of you live there in the Johnsonville, especially around the Johnsonville turning point, onward to Mount Barclay and some parts of Car Wash and other places. Since last Wednesday, current has not shown face to that part of Liberia. I don't know whether it is being done intentional, because there are other parts adjacent those communities that I just mentioned that are receiving electricity. But unlike so, though the electricity are around there, they are the same way it will go, and after some time they come. But those places that are named, the Johnsonville turning point onward to Mount Barclay and some parts of the Car Wash, electricity have not shown face there since Wednesday of last week. And I don't know whether LEC people even taking that into consideration. Because if you sit and always tell us that you have, let's say your technical team is working, your technical team cannot be working all through around the clock, and up to now, people will still living. So if there is a situation that is causing you not to give these people current, decide the one that you see technical problem, let the public know. Let the public know, instead of lying and saying things that you know you can't do, and then you just be lying at technical problem. And I don't know whether they will call today again and say they should put chemistry off, because sometimes when we are here and doing our show, you just notice that yeah. So good afternoon, folks. Welcome to today's edition of the program. This program is proudly sponsored by Crime Stoppers Liberia. Oh yes, old man Sam Sign and his team. So yes, Liberia Electricity Corporation has to do its best to ensure that current is distributed equally to the Liberian populace. You can be doing these things to our country and our people. Electricity in this country, oh my goodness. Especially on our papi who, yeah man, it can be hard to talk sometimes. So don't forget, again, the Freedom Cash giveaway is still ongoing. So you dial star 799 hash. Star 799 hash. You reply with 11 for Freedom FM, and then you stand a chance here on the Freedom Hub. Specifically on the Freedom Hub, you stand a chance here to win. I don't know what is the 2005 or the 4000 today. I will have to. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so whatever it is, you'll be receiving something this afternoon, but it should be something around 4,000 Liberian dollars, or maybe 2005. So all you have to do is dial star 799 hash, and you give a few seconds to load. The list of radio stations will appear, and amongst them is Freedom FM at number 11. So you reply with 11 for Freedom FM, and then you stand a chance here to win either 2,005 or 4,000 Liberian dollars right here. So the name is Hagar Gunda. I'm here up until 6 o'clock this evening. Crime Stoppers Liberia is proud to be associated with this program. When we take Crime Stoppers, we come back. Trust me, we'll call a few of our winners here on the Freedom Cash giveaway, and then we usher in our guests. so that we have a lengthy conversation and give you, our audience, the opportunity so that you make your informed contribution to this edition of the program. We're taking a break. Crime Stoppers, Liberia, OMSM, Sion, Montserrado County, next a senator. Trust me on this. You will not believe. The last Friday when I sat here and gave out my number calling for the establishment of some other things here. We'll talk about that later. But when I gave out my number, it was so overwhelming. Even up to now, the last time I received over 200 calls. I'm frank about this. Over 200 calls, and some of the text messages are here, and I'm going to maybe try to read them out so that you know where it is. So these are people who understand that it is time now that you know we can't be living with people like your Dillon. You're calling it life. That's Dillon here. Let me play this thing just before we go for Crime Stoppers. The man who you're kidding yourself for in the country. You're calling it light. All kind of things. Let me play this thing just quickly, then we can go for Crime Stoppers like We'll come back and we'll call a few of our winners. Yes, then we'll kickstart to this edition of the program. Let's play this one right here.
That's a big deal. But since it has not made sense yet, we start to demonstrate our word into action by maintaining that we will take only $5,000 of our monthly money. Just as we are about to return to Monterey, what we have received from government, we would like to make it in a re-emphasized way that when we said what we said, we were clear on the record that we would take only 5,000 from Monterey County. When we made the argument, it was the fact that senators were taking $15,375 to gross, and after tax deduction, it will come at 12,000. I insisted I would take 5,000 out of that 15,000 and return the rest to Monterey County. And we insisted that whatever the money will be here, more than 5,000 will return the rest to Monterey. So it will make it 50,000. We'll take 5,000 and give Monterey 10. If they increase our money here, or we increase our money here to 100,000, Darrell Dillon will take 5,000 and give Monterey 95,000. If we make it 5,100, Darrell Dillon will take 5,000 and give Monterey 100. If we make it 25,000, then Monterey gets nothing. Because the baseline has always been.
Myra, please. You know, we can have such an embarrassment here in recording Senator Masura. And the good thing is, receiving reliable information that he's contemplating on running away from Masura. Yes, he just has to do so because he has embarrassed himself. Like you always say, you shame his mother, you shame his entire political followers. So I think it is really necessary that we don't pass this around us. So let's take Crime Stoppers like Joe. We'll come back here. We'll pick two of our winners and then cross over to guest here so that we have a good conversation on this edition of Being Freedom. My name is Vega, one that I'm here on Jesus. Let's go Crime Stoppers.
Some more music. There are crimes in many places. Never committed, no. You see. So if you see crime reported, don't take law in your hand or you rent authority. Let it not take care of you. One stop by here for us. We need safety to your door. Whether you reach or you go. If you see a you not talking, I mean you check. You wait for your safety. If you see a don't keep it. You're part of the boy. The people bringing safety to your door. Stop it ground and make it before then before. Don't stop on Liberia. From the center to interior. Keep us safe and stop it ground for all of us. The people bringing safety to your door. Stop it ground and make it before then before. Don't stop on Liberia. From the center to interior. Keep us safe and stop it ground for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Sion.
The people bringing safety to your door. Stop it ground and make it before then before. Don't stop on Liberia. From the center to interior. Keep us safe and stop it ground for all of us. The people bringing safety to your door. Stop it ground and make it before then before. Don't stop on Liberia. From the center to interior. Keep us safe and stop it ground for all of us.
Crime Stoppers Liberia is proud to be associated with the Freedom Hub right here on Freedom 87.9. So let me just go quickly and pick some of our winners here. And then yes, we can start up today's edition of Freedom Hub right here on 87.9. So star 799 hash. Okay, hello.
Hello.
What's up?
Yeah.
Okay, this is Hagar Gunda and I call you from Freedom FM. Your name?
Oh, Mr. Gunda, I'm Emmanuel Waterba.
Okay, Emmanuel, I'm sure you play the Freedom Cash giveaway.
Oh, many times.
And can you confirm that you received something right now?
Really, I have not yet checked it, but I saw the call coming.
Yes, so please check your phone. Can I leave on the line? You do so for me, please.
No problem.
Okay, please do so. So yes, star 799 hash. Okay, give it a few seconds to load the list of radio stations with appear, and then you can respond with 11 or reply with 11, and then you stand a chance to win.
Hello?
Yo.
Yeah, I beg you, let me check it, then I'll call you.
Okay, hope you can do so.
Okay.
All right, so yes, while we're waiting for Emmanuel, while we're waiting for Emmanuel calling me, let me call another winner here. Let me call another winner here. Let's see. Okay, 695. Okay, let me call this other person. Right here on the Freedom Cash, here on the Freedom Hub. Right now. Yeah.
Hello.
Star 799 hash. Okay, give it a few seconds to load the list of radio stations right here. And amongst them, you will find Freedom FM at number 11. Reply with 11. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm okay.
This is Hagar Gonda, and I call you from Freedom FM.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've been playing the Freedom Cash giveaway.
Sure, I've been playing you.
Okay, so can you confirm that you received something right now?
Yeah, I received 2005.
Okay, so go ahead and enjoy your money, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, so yes, that's where we are. Star 799 hash. Okay, give it a few seconds to load. The list of radio stations will appear, and amongst them is Freedom FM at number 11. So you reply with 11, you stand a chance to win $2,500 right here instantly from the Freedom Cash giveaway. So that's where we are, and that's what we can do here for you today from the Freedom Cash giveaway. Depending on how often or how many persons play, I'm here to be. What's up?
Yeah, I received 2,500.
Okay, so go ahead and enjoy your money, okay?
Okay.
All right, so it's star 799 hash. Okay, give it a few seconds to load. The list of radio stations will appear, and amongst them is Freedom FM at number 11. If you reply with 11, you stand a chance to win $2,500 Liberian dollars right here, right now on the Freedom Cash. I gave away 78 2027. So yes. Let me call this other person. So I hope Ben, you get your team to just come up with it. Hello.
Hello?
How are you?
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah?
How are you? This is Hagar Gonda, and I call you from Freedom FM.
Okay.
So I'm sure you've been playing the Freedom Cash giveaway. Can you confirm that?
Yes.
Okay, and can you confirm also that you just received 2,500 like $20?
Okay. Let me check this on the phone.
Okay, so go ahead and check it out. I hope you can call me right after. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So it's star 799 hash. Okay. Give it a few seconds to load. And the list of radio stations will appear. And amongst them, you will find Freedom FM at number 11. That was 11. It's still a chance to win 2,500 Liberian dollars right here on the Freedom Cast giveaway. Let me take this song quickly. We'll come back and set the pace for us here to usher in then profile and of course system here. So we are prepared. We are set. Let's just go with this one quickly. We'll come back just quickly, going straight into what we can have here. Uh, so yeah. Okay, so yes, we are here on the Freedom Hub right here on Freedom 87. We'll come back. Yeah.
Some music, there are crowds from many places. In every community of the world, you see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't take law in your hand or the rent authority. And you can't take care of it. Don't stop all here for us. When you set it to your door, whether you wish or you fall. If you see a human target, I mean you check it. Whoever for your safety. If you see a don't keep it. We're part of it. The people bringing safety to your door. Stopping crime and making peace for them before. Don't stop on Nigeria. From the sector to interior. Keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. The people bringing safety to your door. Stopping crime and making peace for them before. Don't stop on Nigeria. From the sector to interior. Keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us.
Crime Stop Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, old man Sam Sign.
The people bringing safety to your door. Stopping crime and making peace for them before. Don't stop on Liberia. From the sector to interior. Keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. The people bringing safety to your door. Stopping crime and making peace for them before. Don't stop on Liberia. From the sector to interior. Keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us.
Okay, that's where we are. Freedom Hub right here on Freedom 87.9. Crime Stoppers like we are many thanks to Witness and of course his team for always preaching the message of peace. If you feel offended some way, somehow, all you have to do is use the legal means instead of violent means. So yes, let me now usher in my guest, uh, Ben Believe Topa, and of course the Secretary General who will better introduce himself. Good afternoon, guys. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah. So for those just joining, they want to go from the end. Who's speaking?
Well, I'm 4J in Matapa. the National Secretary General of the CDC Council of Patriots. Well, thank you very much. My name is Ben Philippe Toka. I am the chairman of the CDC Council of Patriots.
Okay, good afternoon. Welcome. The last time you were here was on Friday when we had power outage. I don't know whether somebody else had put our entire crew. But today we are here. Let's see whether that was the case. We'll see if it happened today, right?
Well, it was unfortunate that the regime of the day will fear the presence of the country's legitimate grassroots civil rights political movement. I think Joe Walker should be happy for our visiting the country because our work is to expose societal ills where he's wrong, we correct the wrongs. And if he's determined to deliver, he should listen to the CDC Council of Patriots. So there's no need to be intimidated to shut Freedom FM down or cut Freedom FM power line because the CDC Council of Patriots on the radio. I mean, that's being too petty as a government. I don't think Walker should fear us to that extent. It's wrong.
So what's up? We are here. This is a government that got inaugurated since January 22nd, 2023. We are pushing today is the 17th of June. What's your take? How are things running?
Thank you very much. Today, the CDC Council of Patriots, represented here by our Secretary General and myself, Chairperson, we've come to re-emphasize the CDC COP call for the Boaka Kun kleptocracy or quote-unquote government to be sanctioned. So, the CDC Council of Patriots on the 13th of June, 2024, call on the United States of America and its partners to immediately sanction the Boaka Kun administration for rampant police brutality, open bribery, wanton corruption, human rights violations, extrajudicial killings, lawlessness, and use of Liberia as an illicit drug transit point across the country. Now, let me tell you this. It will interest you to know that our country is fastly deteriorating under Joseph Newman Boakai. And here are the reasons why the CDC Council of Patriots called for sanction against the Boakai Kun administration. Since January 2024, the 22nd of January of this year, Mr. Boakai, as head of state, alongside his associates, has appointed notorious murderers and ex-combatants to public offices. To name a few, Francis Humale, the Minister of Internal Affairs, is an ex-combatant and a murderer of Liberians, precisely seditionists who were practicing their democratic franchise in Lofa County. Another to name is Gregory Coleman, who shot and killed 3 Liberians in Kinjor Grand Kemo County who were protesting for decent living conditions. Last night, we got to unearth that Councillor Clamatin, it was announced by one of the so-called charlatans of the rescue mission that Clamatin is an MPFL rebel. The National Police have also been reduced to a partisan institution, resulting in the shooting and killings of 3 protesters like we mentioned earlier in the Kinjor massacre, after which the administration of Joe Boakai and Kun compensated victim family with about $15,000 United States dollars. There have also been numerous mysterious deaths, including the gruesome murder of an armed forces of Liberia sergeant who shot himself 6 times in the head. What an irony! What a nonsense! What a senseless justification! Under Boakai Kun administration, a sergeant of the armed forces of Liberia was shot in the head 6 times. Today, there is no clear-cut result of the investigation. Additionally, cabinet ministers received daily bribes from Dubra foreign multinationals. Officials take loans from banks without legislative approval. One of the examples is Amos Square of the LPRC, the Secretary General of the United Party, who is over LPRC today as managing director. He take loan from the bank without legislative approval. Corruption is rampant across all branches of the government. The administration flagrantly violates the rule of law all over the place. Refusal to pay civil servant salary. Refusals to pay Liberian diplomats trained at the Foreign Service Institute university graduates serving our country in foreign land have been disgraced because Bouaka and Sarah Beslo Yanti have refused to pay them. The uses of Liberia border as a transit point for illicit drug distribution. Those actions by the Bouaka administration are endangering humanity and they undermine the essence of our peaceful coexistence. Therefore, we ask for immediate sanction from the United States government, the European Union, ECOWAS, the United States Treasury Department to save humanity. Unlike the opposition of Joe Bouaka, who advocated for sanctions because they wanted to reduce the political legitimacy of seditions, because they felt that the likes of Jefferson Koji have a political grip on the young people. Nathaniel Fanlo McGill is a legislative luminary. Samuel D. Jr. is a financial expert. They decided to lobby for sanctions against these people. Fellow Liberians and Freedom FM, our international partners, it is embarrassing and disgraceful that our sovereignty under the Bouaka administration is being sold to fraudsters and drug dealers. We want to remind international partners that the first family of Liberia today runs a Bouaka drug syndicate, which uses diplomatic immunity to traffic illegal substances to wealthy dealers for commission and kickbacks across Africa. No citizen in Liberia travels as frequently as compared to Joseph Bouaka, elder son, the one called Joseph Bouaka Jr. or Jojo, who now owns a private jet just in 6 months into a federal presidency. Bouaka Jr. is the most influential character in the drug transportation network, and he influenced his father to appoint a little-known bar as the chief transporter of drugs under quote-unquote presidential envoy nomenclature. Another thing the CDC Council of Patriots want to reveal to the public that requires sanction on the Bouaka administration is an ongoing National Security Agency NSA investigation suggesting that the quote-unquote bar imported over US 15.4 million worth of illicit drugs known as zombies. I was wisely proclaimed by the DEA boss under suspension, Abraham Kroma, one of the chief members of the drug syndicate. He announced the zombie drugs worth $15.4 million. However, Joe Bouaka Jr. used his connections to the presidency to escape using the perpetrators or his operation man when the drugs were captured at the airport. And the NSA is yet to inform the public about the findings of this investigation. Mr. Hassan Fadika, Deputy Director for Operations for the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, LDA, has stated clearly that Mr. Abraham Kroma, Director of the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, works for a powerful drugs cartel. They recruit ex-rebels and warlords to perpetrate violence against citizens. Our international partners need to know this, that the Bouaka administration attempts to undermine the judiciary by reducing its budget. And that's a very clever attempt and strategy to render the justice system ineffective as they carry out these anti-democratic operations. So our international partners, Liberia has been reduced to an ozone of lawlessness. The nation under Joe Bouaka and Kun is unsafe for critical voices like us. And ordinary citizens are being killed in police custody without any explanation to the public. Gregory Coleman remained tight-lipped. A U.S. resident, Gregory Coleman, who is the police inspector general, remained tight-lipped when citizens are killed by the Liberian National Police under his instruction, quote-unquote, Joseph Newman Bouaka. The proliferation of illicit drugs is killing and damaging youths daily, relegating the country to a zombie state. The CDC COP urged the United States of America and its partners to intervene effectively immediately to save soul of a dying nation. Our call for sanction against all sectors of the Boakakun administration aims to protect Liberia. This is a patriotic clarion call to protect the state and its citizens from untimely deaths and to eradicate the high influx of illicit drug distribution across Africa. Unlike those who in power, who called for sanctions to avoid political competition in Liberia when they were in opposition, the CDC Council of Patriots is calling for sanctions when the student University of Liberia cannot go in class because their lecturers or the faculty member are not being paid for 3 months. The country is sinking. Today, let me disagree with one of the charlatans who tried to bring up the quote-unquote hyena story before you go to my colleague. There's no hyenas that have taken over their so-called rescue train. Liberia itself is the train. The lion in charge of the train was Dr. George Manning Weah. President Weah was the lion in charge of the train. The hyenas that came to eat Liberia, you know, hyenas are wild animals that attack wild beasts in the forest and they eat their prey alive. Hyenas will look at, maybe, for example, the size of a bush cow, attack a bush cow or maybe a rhino. The hyena know they're not going to finish it, but they attack the prey alive, sometimes get the intestines out and destroy the prey. Hyenas are animals that destroy. So, in other words, Joseph Yoma Boakai and his team of kleptocrats, kakistocrats are the real hyenas that are eating Liberia alive. To stop this from happening, Liberians like Fode Massacre, Ben Believe Tokpa, Joshua Carr, Aaron Kofa Chie, Christina Kweyu decided, and the thousands of people that are members of the CDC Council of Patriots say, yes, we will stand up for our people. We will extend these clarion call. We will expose societal issues of Joe Barker recklessness, and we are calling on our international partners. The Americans, we respect the Americans. They have presented themselves to be advocates for human rights. They spend money on this country development. We know that for a fact. Salute to the Americans. We want to also recognize the European Union. Salute to the European Union. The ECOWAS. Want to say this to you. If you truly believe in this country, when you sanction men who allegations were leveled against without any investigation before your eyes, you sanction McGill, you sanction and Jefferson Koji, you sanction, you give visa restriction to Samato without any investigation. But to date, when evidence are available, where Joseph Newman Boakai and Jeremiah Kuhn are milking the country resources and turning Liberia to a drug cartel and killing our people in broad daylight using the police, it is time now that Washington act, sanction these people to save our country. That is our position as the country's legitimate grassroots civil rights political movement, the CDC Council of Patriots.
Okay, yeah, quite a lengthy introduction it is. Yes, so what's up?
Yeah.
Mr. SG, quietly seated and watching your chairman to plan. What's up?
So it's kind of important that the chairman elaborated the way he did. Here is the thing. The CDC Council of Patriots is not here as a sanctioned defense corps or team for anyone. Like he said, right, put it in the statement. When the rule of law, you know, the Boakai's Unity Party administration built their ascendancy on 5 major pillars for which they maneuvered their way to come to the presidency. One of them was rule of law, to say honor Dr. Weah on the rule of law, very effective. Another one that the Unity Party built on was just and sustained abuse. Unity Party said George Weah was importing kush into the country. No evidence, no fact of that. Another one was corruption and accountability. The Unity Party said that there was no accountability, corruption was the hallmark in this country. Another one was nepotism, even though majority of the people that at the national legislature were elected, but the argument showed that some people were in power. And the fifth one was peace and stability. So now we ask ourselves, we ask our people, those of you in West Point, in Claverton, in Lockington, in Sonny in Stephen Tubber, after 6 months, because when you are highlighting the problem of the country, it means you have the ultimate solution to solve this problem, and you have been given an opportunity to say it. So now, on a 6 month, let's look at the rule of law on Mr. Bwaka. Even before taking a power, Section 10.1 of the Code of Conduct says, before you become a president, you must declare your asset, Mr. Bwaka, to 2 weeks. And out of the 2 weeks, he went to NSCC in pretense. This Joe Bwaka promised the Liberian people that I will make my asset public for all to see, because he is a clean man. He purports and appear to be a political Jesus. Today, the man that was living on loan has had his assets from the Liberian people, but we see him buying properties all around the country. Another violation of the rule of law on Mr. Bwaka. Article 90B of the Constitution of Liberia that says when you are a public official, you should not hold gift. We saw one Jeremiah Pankun riding a luxurious private jet of his Ghanaian friends, the Ghanaian friends that hold mineral interest in this country. That was a violation of the rule of law. Again, we saw Mr. Bwaka appointing vice president at NOCAD, wherein the NOCAD Act, subsection 1B, it says that it is the CEO of NOCAD that should be appointing the vice president. Mr. Bwaka were appointing all over. We saw another gross violation of the rule of law again, Article 34D, that says if you want to take a loan, it should start with the national legislature. We saw how Amos Twerk had taken 9.7 million United States dollar loan from Echo Bank with no legislative approval. When the CDC COP raised the issue, he was summoned. We say salute to Honorable Mervyn Cole. So when you have a president that have seen interest to bastardize all of the laws to the extent that the judiciary branch budget has been reduced. Why? Because the judiciary say, Mr. Bwaka, you violated the standing act that says there should be training position. He said, no, I will not give him plenty money.
How sure are you that that was the basis for which the budget was?
If it is not the basis, then why it is? Because in Ariat, there is a component.
It would just be because the government does not have the needed fund now to increase.
The government does not have money, but this is a government that the president flies private jet. There is no money, but this is a government that gives over 50,000 to a group of people to be doing PRO. So there is money. Money is not the argument. The money is the government does not see it as a priority for the rule of law. So the rule of law, Mr. Bwaka, have been violated. Let us move now to drugs and substance abuse. We have Cruz in this country. Today, Cruz haven't just defeated Mr. Bwaka and the Unity Party, but Zumbi have metamorphosized into a living giant. Today, the country has been reduced to a zombie republic. And we want to say this on our plea for sanction. How far is the investigation? The investigation that the NSA is currently investigating. The drugs that were caught at the airport where A.B. Kroma lied about 7 million when it was 15.4. In Article 15 of the Constitution of Liberia, it is a right of citizens to have information. We demand the information of that particular report. How far is that investigation? The NSA cannot be keeping the report. We move on to corruption. Corruption, Mr. Bwaka, is no longer a vampire. Corruption is a confidant and a vassal to Mr. Bwaka. This is Joe Bwaka that rewards and appoint people for corruption. We all saw the men celebrating Miata family, a woman that organized an inauguration that the president nearly died. So Joe Bwaka awarded.
But when he now, the program was there also. So yes.
Also, you see that kind of thing? That should be in the plan, should be within the plan. So you see, Joe Biden is appointing people who are corrupt. We have Luto Tape, the man who squandered the 360,000 district development fund money for the inauguration celebration. He rewarded him with position. So you cannot have a man that is rewarding criminals and people into governance. We move on to peace and stability. Peace and stability on this country. You see, you cannot have Joe Biden and his men appointing ex-combatants and murderers into top position. That is a recipe for disaster and anarchy. Today,
but
there
are people who have been serving in government positions since the war, and these are people who fought war. So why just restrict it to Bwaka and his administration?
Mr. Bwaka came to solve all of the problems in this country. He appeared to have all of the solutions. Today we have Queen Johnson. Queen Johnson is a wanted murderer of Joshua Solomon Bah, the boy that was killed and died from internal bleeding only because he had CDC burial on. The Labrador National Police declared Queen Johnson
on TV.
Yeah, the Labrador National Police declared Queen Johnson wanted. Up to now, the Unity Party has refused that Queen Johnson will never go for investigation. What Mr. Bwaka did, Mr. Bwaka ordered Sekou Dukle of the National Port Authority to have appointed Queen Johnson as director for corporate service, a non-grade student with no form of qualification. But these are the people yesterday that called serious-minded individual incompetent here. So now, for us, looking at all of these crises, looking at the form and manner that the country has been payload on witch hunt, where when you are not a United Partisan, you will be embarrassed even as a civil servant. Civil servants have been chased by Joshua Joker of the Civil Servant Agency. Looking at the form and manner that the security sector has been payload. Once you are a United Partisan, even if you kill, you will not go to jail. But when you're from different political party, they go after you. Looking at the form and manner in which our country has been built, where almost all sectors of government today is collapsing. We have a PPCC. The PPCC has been rendered and surrendered as a toothless institution. I have one Mamaka Ability. Mamaka Ability is a woman who negotiates loans, who negotiates dubious things. One of the reasons for which quote-unquote people are sanctioned here, some 6 years back, is because of negotiating wrongfully. Today we have Mamaka Ability, who went and negotiated over 42 million in yellow machine from a corrupt South African businessman, Robert Gumini. Today, Mamaka Ability still enjoys the confidence and assurance of Mr. Bwaka. So, if the country has been built in such a way, for us, we are afraid. We are talking to our international partners that there is a huge possibility that if our international partner cannot step in now, Liberia might retrograde to a state of anarchy. And at that level, if you can have a government that Queen Johnson will murder Joshua Bah, and you cannot have her arrested to be accountable to her crimes, tomorrow, if someone else do sin, you will not arrest them. If you can have a country that the rule of law has been built in a way to be teleguided and Mr. Bwaka should have exclusive power, tomorrow, other people will say, no, if Mr. Bwaka as the president can disrespect the Constitution of Liberia, you are also disrespecting your own right. Because the only thing that keeping Bwaka is 17,000 votes and at the Constitution. So if Bwaka now start to bastard the Constitution of the country, there is a likelihood and possibility that the people, the Liberian people, having been reduced to perpetual suffering, having been victim of witch hunt, having been victim of consistent police brutality and violence, these people say, no, we stand up, we not respect the government. So we are calling on the American people that have invested so much into the country. We say to our American friends and international partners, sanction Liberia the sooner the better. As I speak to you, the Liberian government is currently negotiating with the Russian. Two Russian vessels are on Liberian Sea as far back as May 6th. May 6th up to now.
The Secretary General.
May 6th up to now. So a Russian vessel
We
smuggle petroleum project.
What's the intent of the vessel coming to Liberia? We should understand that because Liberians may be celebrating that because they could bring much relief for the country now. You're talking about rice, you're talking about petroleum.
What do you call relief? There is no relief.
This vessel could be bringing
on May 8th, 2022, the American president, Joseph Biden, issued a sanction or petroleum embargo, calling on all American allies not to trade with Russia.
But America is another country and Liberia is a country.
But Liberia but Joe Biden can be flying and be running and be carrying 40,000 person to the U.S. African Summit, my brother. We gotta be serious. That is the source of our issue. Our issue is Joe Biden makes it appear like he is a partner to America. He respects the American. We are saying this to America. Joe Biden is a betrayer of your choice. So Joe Biden government today is now negotiating to buy a smuggle petroleum from the Russian ship Euro trader on the Liberian Sea.
Then I want us to do like this.
Yeah.
Let's first of all understand this. We try to compare and contrast between President Boakai and former President Weah. Okay. We are here today, June 17, and let's compare 2024 June 17 from January 22nd, let's say 2018, from January 22nd, 2018 to June 17, 2018. Let's compare between that to January 22nd, 2024 and June 17.
We can lay some of the let's do the dichotomy
because Liberians voted for change.
Quickly, let's do the dichotomy between President Weah earlier days of his incumbency. Mm-hmm. The first you're talking about the first 5 to 6 months. Under President Weah incumbency, we saw the groundbreaking of the Dole Community Road and subsequent pavement of the Dole Community Road. Residents of Dole Community under the Boakai UP Sirleaf administration used to live in flawless condition. Deplorable road. President Weah took quota and paved the road for the residents of Dole Community. In the first 5 months of President Weah, he saw the need of the construction of a 14 military hospital. He broke grounds for that. Unlike Joe Boakai, who has refused to pay University of Liberia faculty members their 3-month salaries that today cause students of the University of Liberia to be denied access to learning, President Weah declared all public tertiary institutions of learning, to break it down, all public universities free of charge. He did not stop there. He checked around the country. There are single mothers, single parents struggling to pay the WAEC or WAS fees of their students, the school-going ages at high school level, 12th grade level. The president got involved. He declared that all Liberian students writing the WAS will write the WAS free of charge, provided a package to stimulate them, motivate them while they are preparing to write the WAS exam. What did we see happening? We saw massive increment at the University of Liberia in terms of enrollment. We saw the numbers of Liberian students increasing in terms of the passing marks in the WAEC. Those are some of the tremendous gains we saw the president making. We saw President Weah flying to France to meet his brother Macron, the president of France. He brought back millions to help Liberia move forward in terms of development. President George Manuel Weah. President Joe Boakai
been to Africa.
No. The CLSG deal was signed by President George Weah. I remember President Weah instructed the Minister of Finance at the time, Samuel D. Twer, to make monies available for the CLSG project. That project was done during President Weah administration, the CLSG line. The next thing to talk about, under President George Manuel Weah, aside from the CLSG line, we saw this president tackling multiple challenges simultaneously. He was focused on it. He was concerned. He was eager. Building housing units across the country, making sure that underprivileged Liberians who were living in makeshift and dilapidated structures were sheltered instead of the at homes. Those were the things that marked the first 5 months to 6 months of President George Weah. Comparing Joseph Newman Boakai to President Weah, Joe Boakai first 500 days in office, what we can mark: useless travels, He traveled to the U.S. Africa Business Summit.
And
Those are summits for
seven agreements.
let me tell you something. Agreement. You are a journalist. MOU agreements are not immediate dividends to a country. No, they are not immediate dividends. Joe Biden also traveled to Guinea-Bissau. Why did he bring from there? Joe Biden also traveled to Korea. Why Julius Maada Bio of neighboring Sierra Leone made his country case, benefited millions for Sierra Leone. Joe Biden came back with MOU. What is MOU? Let me tell you something. Joe Biden is not a serious man. This old man is a very dangerous creature with no future. But in church, you would tell Biden is a man that living on extra time, in borrowed time. The theologians will say, in real life situation, when you cross 70, you are living at the special grace. You understand? Biden understand he has no future for Liberia, for himself, before we talk about Liberia. So what this old man is doing, he's desperate, along with his team of kleptocrats. Let me say, look at the legislature, SG. The so-called rescue legislature, where Youngbley sits as so-called president pro tempore of the Liberian Senate. Recent times, and it's very disgusting to see men like Amara Kone. You know, I have some respect for Amara Kone, but I've got let me say this to you, to see Amara Kone, because Amara Kone presented himself as if he's something else. He's an integrity icon. He believes in transparency. I'm coming, my brother.
Recently,
but to see Amara Kone being part of, for Dylan, he has no reputation, has no character. Dylan is a liar and a slanderer, so we don't discuss him. You don't put Dylan in integrity decision. But man, Amara Kone, you part of those who signed for $10,000 just to go in Buchanan. In fact, what retreat the Senate had to go?
They said the 10,000 was not for the Buchanan retreat.
No, it's inclusive of the $400,000 United States dollars that was blown off. $400,000 Liberian people money that was spent on the useless Senate retreat that brings back no dividends to this country. It hurts. This is Liberian people money we're talking about, yeah. And those are the people who were prayer singing and were presenting themselves as political Jesus, as advocates. You know, it's very disheartening. And to my own big brother from Bonka, the Prince Moy. This is the first time to engage Prince Moy publicly. You know, Prince Moy should not come here and say, oh, actually, he's the chairman on Ways and Means in the Senate. So Prince Moy, will actually release the record of those who signed. Prince Moy, come on. You signed for the $10,000. Prince Moy, is that why you went to Bonkante? You had a deputy speaker position. You traded that to become senator, and Bonkante lost the opportunity. You fought to get Joel Howard Taylor out as vice president of the county for your selfish gains. You wanted to be here signing for 10,000, Prince Moy, when Bofet is honor supported, when the Bonkante Technical College is challenged. Let's look at the infrastructure position of Bapolu County. And you signing for $10,000. For Delon, he has no moral. Let me tell you something. It will reach a time in this country where when Delon open his mouth in the public, people will stone him. You know why? Let me say this to you. Blaise Pascal said, and I quote, when the people facilitate your ascendancy and are injured by your administration, they give you hate and they give glory to an entity. Beyond all indications and all comparative analysis, Joseph Newman Boaka is unmatched. He cannot be matched to the legacy of the people's leader, President George Manning Weah. Boaka is a fraud. Boaka is a kleptomaniac. To break it down, he's a common criminal. This man was dismissed by Samuel Kando for stealing. Boaka was dismissed by Dr. Amos Claudia Sawyer for stealing. Joseph Newman Boaka at the presidency in 5 months has messed up everything in this country. Boaka is the hyena. And we Liberians, like as you just said, we have to come out to save this country from Joseph Newman Boaka. This man is in his 80s. He got nothing to lose. He's only here to enrich he and his friends. So the Vaplas have taken over. You go LPRC, you find Emma Stewart, the Secretary General of United Party, LPRC boss. Prince Moy, Senator Bonkante, Rescue Mission Senator. You find his wife on the board of LPRC. You check, and that's how the country is running. Go to the Ministry of State. What's the Minister of State's name? Sylvester Grace Payne. His associates, a baby mom. Those are the people. And who's speaking? When an alligator comes from under the water and tells you whatever story it has to say, you have to believe it because there where it lives. Who are those exposing the rescue mission? That's what the last time we endorsed Representative Yeke Koluba. The movement against Baka presidency, we endorsed that movement. Let me say this to you. We are happy to be on the right side of history. We are happy to form part of the side that said, yes, George Weah is the only alternative to move Liberia forward, not the crook, the kleptocrat, the kleptomania, and a fraudster in Joseph Newman Boakai. The U.S. government, if you're listening right now, this is a clarion call. Sanction the Boakai. You see what they're doing now? They are doing business with the Russians. We are not against Russia. But let me say this to you. We are following the global happenings. We know what's happening between Russia and Ukraine. Liberia and the United States government have a very long-standing partnership. We don't have that with Russia. And you say you are doing business with the United States, but Boakai, you have the Secretary General, who is the LPRC boss, doing business with Russian investors. What are we turning this country to? It is about time now that we seize the movement, my brother. There's no time for ill will. There's no time for pettiness. There's not time for irrelevant justification. It is now time that patriots rise up to the occasion and save the state. Mr. Boakai has done what the arrogance for. Boakai has been reckless. He's been irresponsible. He's turned to a vulture, the hyena that is eating Liberia alive. And as Liberians, if you say, let me say this to you, the lion will never allow the hyenas to be around it for too long. If a lion is on the prey and the hyenas come around, the lion drop the prey and chase the hyenas up. Because you know what you do? If you, no matter how strong you are as a wild beast, if you give the hyenas chance to come, and start to eat you alive, you have no strength again. So, fellow Liberians, wherever you are, we want to call on you openly to support Honorable Yeke Koluba movement against Boakai presidency. Join the CDC Council of Patriots. Share the press releases. Share the press releases. Support their movement. The CDC Council of Patriots will rally Liberian masses in connection with the movement against Boakai presidency. And when we get ready in this country, we will put out the Liberian people to speak to Boakai conscience and tell him the arrogance, the lawlessness, the bad governance too much. And at this time, let the American government take charge. Let our international partners take charge and save the country.
And I was just about to ask you this question when you spoke about Representative Koluba's movement. During the CDC regime, we saw several protests being staged by now members of the now ruling party. And some of them, you also form a part against some of them. And all of these things, looking at what is happening now, we are receiving credible information from the level of the armed forces of Liberia that the gifts that used to be given to them, like normally they will have to carry a bag, I think 2 bags of rice each every month. But now these things, they are not receiving them, and even their salary and things is delaying. We're talking about 40,000 employees being taken off government payroll. Though Josiah Chuka have said that's not true. We said that before the House is plenary. So all of these things, don't you think it is time to stage action that could call the government's attention to say, hey, you are doing this that is not in the interest of the people? We saw these things during the WIA's administration. We have started experiencing protests from February, March, and you know about the June 7th protest.
You see, people's power is predicated on their social and economical deprivation. When the people are ready for Mr. Boakai, when the difficulties of you having to walk from Broad Street to go as far as Clowertown before you get a car, because the buses are all spoiled. When the university students cannot go to Fender campus because there is no bus available. When civil servants haven't taken pay for almost 3 months. When the army officers have been killed in the barrack, and today there's no investigation, no report for that investigation. When the judiciary have been teleguided and underfunded, when violence continues to perpetuate all sectors of the government, you will not need any individual to rally the people to march into history. My brother, you see, in politics, in liberal politics, it is always certain that people need direction, the ordinary people. And we want to say this, especially to the national leadership of the major opposition political party, the Congress for Democratic Change, concurrently the Coalition for Democratic Change. The CDC that people knew from 2005 to 2017, it's not the CDC now. And so many times when you see people say, oh, the party quiet, no, I'm not of that view. I'm of the view that CDC tested governance for 6 years. So the mixture of being an opposition party before you came in government and now you come in opposition. So the party need to adjust, because there are some positions the party got to take now. It will be looking at a government in waiting and not just opposition. But we want to say this to the CDC. People that are loyal and taking the struggle of the Liberian people on their head, it is the responsibility of the CDC to provide all necessary support, moral support, financial support, oral support, as the people engage, as the party come in full swing. The issue that people say, oh, yesterday, no. If the CDC must go forward, the attitude of people not being clear should end. Liberians believe in the CDC as an epitome of hope and assurance for their struggle. The least person in this country, people who cannot have transportation to come to school, people who are unable to send their children to private universities, that woman that have been taken away from the street because God come and say, no, you will not sell on the street anymore. That widow with 5 children that is selling fish in the market, but when she buy 1 carton, people cannot buy. These people, they are the owners of the party. So it becomes imperative that the parties start to stand with people that are standing for them. Seditionists are in wilderness. They are looking up to the party for direction. It is very much important that the party come to terms on this reality that 2005, no, we are no longer in 2005. Right now, it is about people that will stand in defense of the parties to have redemption for the Liberian people. The CDC play a pivotal role in saving this country, in protecting the democracy of this country. So we like to say to our people, remain hopeful. That is the assurance of the CDC. Hope. At the appropriate time, Mr. Bucket, they stay on honeymoon. That's why, you see now, we are engaging in, unlike them, that did the politics on hate. For us, we are saying this. You see, another thing is the CDC COP you see here. My brother, I want to say this. Some people will be shying away from CDC COP, and you can't come close. We want to say this. When the CPP COP of Henry Costa were in existence, Bernard Ure sent Costa there for his political party AOP. Alexander Cummings sent his Secretary General Elisha to for his party there. You have vote Una men were there. Yeah, Jeremiah Wapo. You have all the political parties to the extent that when the CPP COP called for the We Are Step Down campaign, and Mr. Roman P., who is now the Minister of Linseman.
And as you let me just recognize publicly Senator Sir Joseph. Senator Sir Joseph was magnanimous. He openly declared his support in his office for the CDC Council of Patriots, his membership.
And we appreciate Honorable Sir Joseph for that. Yeah. So we are saying this, that in the CPP COP, the political leaders in the CPP send people there to take ownership, to support it.
In the CPP COP, they did that.
When Roman P. disagree, Joe Bucket ensured that Roman P. be removed as chairman, and he was out of the party because he disagreed with the CPP COP. So we are saying this to all of the leaders, Dr. George Mona, we need to come take membership in the CDC COP. The executive leaders, the national executive leaders of the Congress for Democratic Change need to come take membership in the CDC COP, because our struggle, our work, it benefits And the Liberian people are seditionists. The CDC COP in all of the major political leaders in the country. Mr. Alexander Cummings, we are calling you. Send your people from ANC to come and take leadership and membership in the CDC COP. The work we do, the fear the government got for us is based on our ability to interpret the suffering of the Liberian people. We can do that better when we are united.
Sam Sion.
Yeah.
So Sion is a stakeholder who is also vying for the Maserati Senate seat. His major opponent is DeLong. We're calling on Mr. Sam Sion to come and have your members. Let me tell you something, right? The CDC Council of Patriots, I don't want to be president. For the massacre, don't want to be president. The CDC COP believes strongly in the ideology of His Excellency George Manning Weah, his legacy. We believe in him. Today, if you conduct election, the CDC COP will never be neutral. Have George Weah as a side. Those of you who believe that Mr. Boakai is a vulture, milking our country, stealing from our country, he is the hyena eating Liberia alive. The Liberian people movement is the CDC Council of Patriots. Those of you in the diaspora, you do not want to read these press releases. Share the press releases. Those of you in Washington, in America, you see how Gregory Coleman killing people here every day at Joseph Boakai instruction. You all see how Amos Twain just taking money from one place to another, taking loan for alleged approval. You see all of that happening. You see how A.B. Coleman playing with the zombie drugs, Joseph Newman, Boakai Jr., all of them being involved. You're watching it. You guys don't be tight-lipped. Those of you former government officials that had the opportunity to work, and now you find yourself out. Some of you have been witch hunted. You have to stand up now. It is time to act now. Don't be a coward. You have to stand up now. We have to fight for this country. It's not about us. President Weah, when this country was at war, he did all he could. He was at refugee camps. He educated people. He led this country to prosperity, and lies and deception from Boakai and his gang got President Weah out of the presidency. Today, we cannot get vexed ourselves. Let me say this to you, the Liberian people. The people who go to the ballot and vote are never wrong for their decisions. They are always right. The masses go and cast the ballot because the masses always want the best. The masses, quote unquote, change President Weah, even though it was a marginal error, because they thought that Boakai could do better. But now that it has been proven that Boakai is the worst of the presidential material, the least ever in the history of our country, and the love of the presidency, it is incumbent upon no white collar opposition business. Some of you said in order that you want the frame to finish from your air conditioner before you can count us out. It's not going to work here. It is time now. And one thing we have to stop in this country, let me say this for you. Yeke Koluba disagreed with us before, fellow seditionists. Yeke Koluba is now punching societal ills. There's no permanent enemy and permanent friends in politics. Prince Johnson, who said that Wazza Boakai is a dead man walking. Jeremiah Kuhn, who his entire life, he spent about 5 freaking years in the House of Parliament as a sedition. In a few months' time, he became a so-called rescue vice presidential candidate. Let me say this to you, fellow seditions, wherever you are, we're not doing it for anybody. We're doing it for our country. Let us rise up in our numbers. We are documenting the essences like it has often been said. Let us rise up. Let us form a united opposition, like the SG said. The Congress for Democratic Change, the Alternative National Congress, Vision for Liberia's Transformation, all of the different opposition political parties, the Movement for Economic Empowerment.
It's a civil rights political movement.
This is a civil rights political movement. The CDC Council of Patriots. You have the opportunity to come. Let's work together to engage the tyranny. Let me tell you this. Whether you like it or not, Boakai is the most dangerous president in the history of the country. You know why? Boakai is a dictator. Boakai knows he has no future. This is a man living at the extra grace of God. It is written in the Bible. He's 80 plus years old. This man is not thinking about what he's going to be in the next 10 years. This man is president for his family, his gang of officials in government. He's desperate. This man does not care how Liberia will look in the next 10 years. You see, when you have a leader who is there to infatuate change so that he can have a chance on the basis of the change infatuating, that person becomes careful. The reason President Weah bothered himself here for the 6 years, building roads, building homes, expanding our economy, creating jobs, allowing both. Look, let me tell you some of this. I agree with this on Councilor Janga Augusta quote. He said one thing. He says CDC, President Weah allowing United Partisans to serve in strategic positions in government was at a point of strength. He was a leader of the country, not a leader of CDC.
But to demonstrate leadership.
Warren Bryan today, who's superintendent of Monserrato County, was the PRO at the Monrovia State government under the leadership of his lordship, Mayor Jefferson Tamakoji. When you go to the Ministry of Finance, when you have Minister Samuel D2 serving, there were United Party people who were quote unquote, they call it technocrats or whatever, technical people.
The technicians.
Technicians all over the place. Every sector of government deal with our bombers at NASCAR. President Weah met him and renewed his tenure and said, "Sir, if you're doing well with NASCAR, let me say this to you. This country, Bwaka, has divided the country so much, it has become a partisan state. They are going against sweepers, they are going against security personnel, they are going against janitors, only because they believe that when a person has a CDC identity, you should not be given the opportunity to serve. This is an arrogant nonsense that has to stop, and for us to stop this, we must rise up."
Okay. And you see, we can do this thing. We can achieve redemption in unity. We can achieve redemption in unity. Mr. Barker said one thing that I want to remind our people, our mothers, those mothers in West Point, in Claverton. Mr. Barker said that he will work with the devil.
Yeah, he said that.
When I had to make him president.
He said that. He did say it.
For us, we are not asking you to work with the devil. We are asking you to work with your sons and daughters from the CDC Council of Patriots. In this country, it is important we try to support and promote our own. We were lied on, we were accused in this time. We went to court on allegations. Today, when Mo Ali was involved into a public abortion, as Secretary General, Joe Bagger, Yombly, all of them went to the police station.
Exactly.
They stood with him.
Yeah.
When Queen Johnson murdered Joshua Solomon Bar, the United Party kept her, protected her, stood with her. We are saying this CDC COP, with all of the consistency, it is now about time we have the collective support of all the Liberian people and seditious and Liberians. We need to stand with the CDC COP to combat and engage this regime. Like we have always said, Mr. Barker will not bow down to mere press releases and press conferences. Barker is a brutal, vindictive, revengeful old man that must be engaged with a revolutionary mandate, with present, with the human being, with the people. So our mothers, all the militants of the parties, whenever you hear CDC COP, it is your movement. Take pride, take glory, take pride, take glory. If the United Party can protect a murderer like Queen Johnson and make her director for corporate services at the MPA, a non-grade student, these were the people that argue and condemn people about incompetence.
Exactly.
Even though George we have senior school at the university, but Joe Bagger is appointing elementary incompetence people. You get Emmanuel Fane. You get Joseph Valaide. You get a bunch of incompetent people.
You have a degree.
You get Mandela Company. You have their horsemen. It is a conflict of interest for a horseman and wealth to serve in the same ministry.
Actually, you know, Mandela Koba don't have a degree. It was so that I heard that.
Yes.
Mandela Koba don't have a degree.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
But these were the people that appear to have all of the solution. So we are saying to our people, the country is at a very critical junction. And for us, we don't want this country to go into a state of anarchy. That is why the same international people they used to go lie to, for all we are not lying. The King John massacre, where 3 Liberians were shot in the head, and the United Party government offered 15,000. King Joe Bagger offered.
I'm told they even had they hid some of the bodies.
Yes.
They buried some of the bodies when and compromised some families. It had actually been up to I'm told more than dozens of people, but they had to have some of the bodies.
King Joe Bagger offered his son Jojo Bagger to be killed, and he gave him 15,000. He cannot do that. When you have the police running behind the motorcyclists, I said today, you know the motorcyclists, our brothers, those guys don't have job.
No, they don't.
Their only job to be decent, not to be criminals, was to ride motorbike. Yeah. But you put go zoom, no go zoom, you restricting their movement. For us, the motorcyclists, we are with you. We share your sorrow. We may have one way or other participated in this, but now we are coming back to you to tell you that redemption is possible.
And what it has done, it has even inflicted hardship because some of the, for example, some of the distances covered. At first, from Broad Street, the corridor of Broad Street around Old Education to AM University campus, it used to be $50 dollars.
It was not like 150.
Now it's going to 150. From Boulevard 72nd to ELW Junction used to be 50, it's 100. From Boulevard Junction to 72nd Junction, now it's 150. Now to leave from ELW Junction, pass through the Tubman Boulevard and come to Broad Street is $600 per passenger. These are some of the things. Now, nobody is against safety. But what is the public health measures? Hepatitis B that is traveling through sweat, syphilis, and other sicknesses. You are telling passengers to wear, more than 100% entitled to one helmet. Which safety mechanism or policy is that? Which safety mechanism? Let me say this to you. The country is deteriorating under Mr. Bwaka. And we have to take charge of this country, or else the country will go down the drain.
Okay. Yes. We have to take this break. And of course, when we come back, then we can pick calls so that, yes, our listeners too can make their contribution. Because we are gradually winding down. And so, yes, the Freedom Cash giveaway is still ongoing and people are winning. I'm going to call a couple of them after our break. So you can do same by dialing *799#. Okay. Give it a few seconds to load and the list of radio stations will appear. Then, yes, you stand a chance to win. Once you reply with 11 for Freedom FM, you stand a chance to win 2,500 like $3. Let's go for Crime Stop Us. When we come back with big calls here onto this edition of the program.
There are crimes in many places, in every community, you know. You can see. So if you see crime reported, don't take law in your hand, only with authority. Let it come take care of it. Don't stop by here for us. We need safety to your door. Whether you reach or you fall. If you see a you must talk it, and I mean you church it. You wait for your safety. If you see a don't keep it. You must pass them for it. Stop, take people bringing safety to your door. Stop me cry and make it before them before. Don't stop on Liberia, on the second to interior. Keeping us safe. Stop me cry and make it before them before. Don't stop on Liberia, on the second to interior. Keeping us safe, let's stop me cry for Allah.
And so Crime Stop Us is proud partner and sponsor of the Freedom Hub right here in Freedom 87. So yes, let's call more winners out here. Then we can go to the line now and pick your calls here on today's edition of the program, the Freedom Hub. My name is Haga Ganda, and of course we got a team from the CDC Council of Patriot. They are here. They are here this evening, and of course, we are having a conversation on the running of our country, how things are going. Yes, so that's where we are here on today's edition. So yes, let me call this person. Let me call this person. So let me call this person and just come back. Rosetta, I will pick your call. I'll pick your call later. Please just give me a few minutes. Let me call some of our winners on the Freedom Cash giveaway. Star 799 hash OK. Give it a few seconds to load. And the list of radio stations will appear, and amongst them you will find Freedom FM app number 11. So with that, you stand a chance to win 2,500 Liberian dollars right here. So let's hope that this person will pick this because we are out of time. Let's hope that this person happy. I don't know. Let's hope that this person. Yeah, okay. So let's try to pick calls on 0776 104104 let's pick Rosetta Sonkari. Rosetta, what's up?
Yes, well, afternoon, brother. Good afternoon,
Go ahead,
my
you
name
live.
is Dr. Sonkali. That's why you come and say some words. Let me ask you, you don't get this here that you put it right. And I'm going to test everything that you go on. Think I will cancel the black senator. He's very sick, but even though now we'll retire him. When it comes to the current president, he keeps saying people who brought him to this country was happy about that. With the September 29, that's something I can never forget because I was marked only that I carry for what happened in Korea. And those people have been paying for what is there to the CDC. And then when it comes to labor square, who start on many platforms during the course of their visa, preaching how we will correct our government will corrupt this staff. If they are the people that have the integrity, today you have a full in Ghana that you are bossing and that you have people money. He's taking loans without the laws because exclusive of those loans. Where do those people count it?
Okay, Rosetta, thank you. Thank you so kindly. Thank you. She's Rosetta Sonkari. Let me pick this other person. Hello?
Hello?
You're live on the radio. Go ahead.
Hello?
You're live on the radio. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm now escorting.
Go ahead.
Calling from Pastor.
Okay.
Yeah, for why this I'm very against that. I'm supporting you can call back to join the movement, but we're asking you to please count this out so we can get out of the t-shirt and join the movement because for all the time we don't have the t-shirt.
Okay. All right. We'll continue. So let me just pick one of our winners. Hello?
Hello?
You're live. This is Higa Kona and I call you from Freedom FM.
Yeah, I'm Sergeant Sunday from Jamaican Barracks.
Okay.
I've been following you.
I'm sure you can play the Freedom Cash giveaway.
Exactly, I've been playing.
Can you confirm that you received 2,500?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead and enjoy your money, okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Let me pick this international caller. Hello?
Hello, Eka?
You're live on the radio.
Yeah, this is H. Kimbasta Jezo Clinton Dayu, a son of Grand Paso County, Bichotan, flying in from Italy to Reno State.
Where?
Yeah, I want to commend your studio guest. I want to appreciate him. And as of now, I pledge my support to the CDC COP. I will give my support. Let them take my number. I will do all I can. Take people from my district, and we will rally around here, and we see to it President Waka get down. Trust me. Give him a number and let him help me. I don't even know what to say. Thank you, Chief.
Okay, so yes, I hope I can. All right, I will try to give a number to them. Okay. Let me pick David King. Okay. David, what's up?
Yeah, no problem, brother. Let me say good evening to MPD Super and our potent SSG of the CDC Council of Patriots. My revolutionary salutation to you guys, Congress. Yeah, this is David King. I remain propositional until 2029. You know what I'm saying? And the SG has just said it right. Based upon this chief that Joseph Parker and a bunch of youngsters believed in. The master ran our people when they lied and they came to power. Today, all of you are experiencing at this crucial stage, the total backwardness. And our people have started to regret the action that is done in 2023. But we want to say to Mr. Parker, you will not go to bed on this one. The Liberian people who will speak to you with the language that you understand. And the only language you understand, Mr. Parker, is that civil protest. It is the people power that will galvanize the forces to come out to support the movement against Parker presidency in making sure that we get you out of power. Will you people power that they did in Egypt? We will also do similar thing in Liberia. So, Hagar, let me tell you, Parker will not go to bed on this one. We are very serious about this thing. We cannot see our brothers and sisters going to bed with hunger. We cannot see our people driving on that road. When people took $22 million in the country, they went and ate it and put dirt over dirt. Today we are expressing accident on all of the roads that Parker talk about. Today Parker lied to us and told us this. 13 counties, all of the 15 counties got drugs in all of the hospitals. Right here, you hear JFK. The other day, the chief administrator of that hospital was crying, making an SOS call, calling for drugs to be given to JFK. JFK do not have drugs. Or people are still buying drugs on lucky pharmacy. Prescription are still being given to our people. So we want to say to Parker, if you allow the Liberian people to come to power, you will not allow to them to leave. We're going to put your feet to the fire. If you cannot leave, you will leave. Thank you very much.
Thank you so kindly. Let me pick this call. Hello. You're live on the radio.
Good evening, Inga Gonza.
Good evening, Chief. Where?
Yeah, I'm Peter the Recasa. I come from another street like in Lower Johnsonville. Let me say hi to your studio guests. And you know, they have just said this rightly. And Joseph Parker in his ponies in power, who came to merely loot the Liberian economy. I think this is the time that we need to rise up to make sure that we chase them out of our country. This long now, 3 to 7 months, nothing they can point to. Every sector of the Liberian society has deteriorated. Rent prices has escalated, gasoline, and that has imposed their poverty on the suffering masses of our people. Look at the great university. Yesterday, free tuition today, the staffers and that of the lecturers are unfortunate. They put down the job. Students are no longer going to school. So these guys that came on the matter of change, they have performed below the belt. So they do not need to live into power. We need to rise up, as the CDC COP said, and that we mobilize and also collaborate with Honorable Jacob Korba and make sure that this particular death squad that are being imposed on the Liberian people and should be changed out of power. We have terrible people who have people that are serious minded to govern this particular society. Joseph Parker and his government have to live because they have performed testimony, they have brought anti-poverty on the Liberian people. Every sector of the Liberian society has deteriorated. The motorcyclists are crying, the market girls are crying, students are crying, all over. So, we'll work with them, to thank them, we'll work with them, we'll be with them, in the struggle so that we can redeem and Liberia. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let me pick this call. Hello.
Hello.
Please stop holding the line. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is the board of critical government. You have to join a conversation from Cowanville. Let me close the conversation too. But let me tell you, we do the point that from now, but it's not because. Let me tell you that if we do your talk covering the rural communities, even people that are watching the rescue mission, they are kind of like people when they get to but they just hold their God, sheep and disrespect. So we're looking at them. But we can show you, we're staying in the vanguard. If you even see right now, if you look at the State University, see what is going on there. One of weekend, they have put the girls to justice drop our galleys, but we fill our car here. And for now, for the 8 hours, we can resolve the issue. We can run on specific action.
Okay.
Or on specific action, brother. So, brother, you your point who get your please take note. And probably we have to win the brother for you. We are waiting at our own share.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let me pick this international caller. You live.
Yes, I think I'm
I'm okay. I'll leave my side. Go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, the problem here, you see, Joseph Wakai, this is one of my greatest frustrations. I always say this. This government have already failed. Because this is the first president I have seen ever in the history for you to take power and you refuse to reconcile the country. Instead of reconciling the country, as soon as you took power, you started dividing the country. And the country is heavily divided, and Joseph Wakai don't even say care. You see, what president we are in our country, Joseph Wakai can't do that. For you to take power and he maintain unity party people into position and working in the government, Joseph Wakai can't do that because you work for 42 years in government, there is nothing Joseph Wakai can show. All the places he worked, what are his achievement record? What did he achieve for himself? So the old man got him to enrich himself. And those people that he brought around him, everybody just there to do the same thing. Those nurses, when people used to go to the hospital, they will be like, okay, you people go tell for George Weah, you go to the pharmacy and go buy the medication so we can treat your. Today, Joseph Wakai is there. People are still doing the same thing. Going across the street to buy medication to be treated. You see? And I still...
Oh, sorry. Sorry, yes, so let me pick this call. Yeah. Hello?
Hello?
Live on the radio, go ahead.
Well, I'm missionary planning to call it from Pomota.
Go ahead from Pomota.
I'm telling Liberia what presidency. And then monitor, everything. I'm going to phone that block price. Let's not forget about everything whether PA president here or Waka they are doing for. I will call the phone that block them because there's disasters that can take place in a country. What I'm saying over there is this. If we don't change the evil thing that we our services doing, there's something about president coming, president going, that they're going on with their woman, if we don't change, but we are continuing to talk about the past government president we are, and the present government we discuss, but let's talk about evil doing that we are doing against the country. First, I'm listening to Freedom FM, but this one, first, there is a go on the Freedom FM. So, this one message to the citizens.
Thank you. Let me pick this one. Hello?
Yeah.
You live?
Yeah, we got one now.
Go ahead, Chief.
Keep calling for the camera.
Go ahead.
I think you that the guest studio they mentioned the house. The issue at the car is the issue at the car. You all get it? So I'm reminding you to hold on to that one too in front of the corruption that took place at the car. And he said, I understood that the Buckeye family can go there. So that should be checked out. You see, whenever somebody tell you, say, I'm the devil, don't say anything for all of it. If I say he's devil, and you see who are around that devil, that's an eater. And the eater will not be full up. So we have to continue to know our turning point and our position and what to come up with in the next future. Thank you.
Okay, let's do this one. Few more calls on 40 agree. Hello? No. When I keep you, trust me. When I keep you. This caller, hello?
Hello?
You're live.
Yeah, you are speaking with Charles Sequel from District 14, the Deputy Overlord on the Square Council, District 14 State Chapter.
Where?
Yeah. We were telling our brother and sister around here that woman brother is not president material. were going against us, attack you fighting us. Now they are seeing it. But now we don't get a country nowhere because from the proceeding. But now, if the president instead of him calling for reconciliation, trying to chase after our brother and sister that are working with government.
Okay.
So now we know it's in camp.
All right.
But as you know, we're going to mount forces for the COP to make sure that we should be together.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let me pick my Sissy finally. My Sissy, what's up?
Yeah, I do, Ega.
I'm okay. Go ahead.
Ali.
Yeah, thank God.
Let me say, my son begged me to want to say hello to them. The three of them in studio. Yeah, Ega, this is my Sissy. I'm calling for clouds and this evening. And let me say kudos to my children and he said it right. The city of the people in this country didn't listen. I want to say, the saying in studio today. We told the police there, now he have material for presidency. We told them. Before they arrest you so good. They're not leaders. They arrest you so good. You understand? Fucking those students, what you don't save all the same, you don't save that people. But look at what it says now, all what the country people.
Oh, wow. Nice. So, Ben, we can stop you at that and then go back to you because we have 5 minutes to leave here so that you both can just wind down and give us a party.
The problem is this: Mr. Joe Walker is president. Solution is what the Liberian people need. The first solution is calling on our international partners, especially the American people, to sanction the government for all of and the other necessary ones. General explain on that. We are also speaking to the 55th National Legislature, headed by a dominant CDC legislator. The Liberian people, the massive, they are not happy with the 55th National Legislature. When Mr. Bwake violates the law, it becomes a moral responsibility of the legislature to call him to order. Article 43 of the Constitution of our country gives enormous power to the national legislature to hold the executive accountable. Today, the more than 22 million rule, almost all the area they wasted the deck, they now back off. But we said this to Liberians and to Civilians. The CDC Council of Patriots is Liberia's only political civil rights movement. Like I then said, we don't want to be president. For us, we are not hypocrites and the other advocates that pretend. We believe that the man who got the ability to transform and transmodify this country for a better is Dr. George Manawia. So all of our political activism is geared at bringing Dr. Weah back to power. So it now becomes a moral responsibility of all Liberians that believe in George Weah. See the CDC COP as your own personal property. Work with us. We are open. We are open. We are out there. Engage us. We need to build a solidarity. We need to put the market. And it's important the CDC COP do this. So tomorrow, at the appropriate time when Ambassador Weah is coming back, then the CDC COP can now train the Liberian masses onto him. It will be easy. Instead of other people from the far asset that will be building their own political ambition. So they are open. Let us appreciate Freedom FM. Freedom FM is a family. We look forward to a continued working relationship as we get towards protecting the state. Finally, it is important that the Bwake's administration be sanctioned. It is not soon. Nobody will not fool you. One resolution from Mr. Bwake can plunge this country into civil war. So it is never too soon for people to do the right thing. We are calling on everyone, all of the opposition political leaders, Mr. Alexander Benedict Cummins, the CDC COP is a movement. Come on and take membership here. Like George Manawia, come on and take membership. And together we believe we will save this country and redeem the state. Thank you.
Robert Ford said in a quote, when the interest of the marginalized is jeopardized, reaction becomes inevitable. Blaise Pascal said, first move of a man determines the rest of the move. 6 months, 5 months, approximately 6 months is enough. It's enough to mark Joe Biden colossal failure. Now, we'd like to reiterate the call on the United States of America government, the European Union, our international partners, the U.S. Treasury, to sanction the Biden administration for rampant police brutality, open bribery, ransom corruption, human rights violations, extrajudicial killings, lawlessness, use of Liberia as an illicit drug transit point across Africa. Lastly, as we engage in the fight against the tyranny in Joe Biden, we are cognizant of the fact that there is a sophisticated death squad set up in the country, and that death squad is chaired by Gregory Coleman at the special instruction of Joseph Newman Barker and Jeremiah Kuhn. In a country where an AFL sergeant was shot in the head 6 times, and to date, the National Security Agency charged with the responsibility to launch investigation, Brigadier General Prince Johnson, who was trained by American taxpayer money, you are now seated as NSA boss. You've been tight-lipped on the suspicious and dark, perplexing situation that led to the demise of an AFL sergeant. I mean, it is even a kid birthed today or born today will never believe that a well-trained sergeant will shoot himself in the head 6 times. In fact, where was the man consciousness when he was shooting himself in the head 6 times? So we are aware that the country is unsafe. So we want to say this to Liberian people. It is 6 o'clock post-meridian in Liberia, 6 o'clock p.m. The country is dark on Joe Biden. Our blood, our flesh is on the head of Joseph Newman Barker, Gregory Coleman, and the NSA boss, Prince C. Johnson. If an AFL sergeant can be killed, it brought daylight on camera. Liberians at Kinjal who come and protest for decent working environment, and Barker killed them. If Queen Johnson can be rewarded today with a job at the NPA because she facilitated the murder of Patterson Joshua, if President Yumale can be Minister of Internal Affairs today because he killed citizens in local county, we are aware of the tyranny. But I want to say this to Mr. Barker. I want to say this to Prince C. Johnson. I want to say this to Gregory Coleman. That at this point in time in history, if you dare try any frontline cadre of the Popular People movement, be it CDC Council of Patriots, be it citizens, be it Liberians from the 15th political subdivision, it will mark the end of the Bwaka tyranny. The Bwaka will have to exit at the magnitude of the people's power. Okay. Thank you very much to Freedom FM. I want to say this to Joe Kleptomania Bwaka. You have to rescue or excuse.
Okay. Thank you so kindly. Ben Believe Tupa, and of course, is Secretary General at the level of the CDC Council of Patriots. We have been here as our guest until I am back here. It's hopefully on Wednesday, but on tomorrow, Oliver Kine, alongside Princess Eliza Macaulay, will be here with the Tuesday's edition of the program, the Freedom Hub, right here on Freedom 87.9. So the name is Hagar Ghana. That's how I like to take my leave. Here until I'm back here, let's pray for the peace of Liberia. Let's work together to ensure that this country is protected, so that we all can live here in harmony. That's all the time I've got to be on our here.
Yeah, Lord. I just want to.
Distinguished colleagues,